Hi, Neil Hansen here, and over the last few months, I've talked about how our thinking affects our body and making choices about, eating and things of that nature all have a lot to do with our emotions and whatnot. And I think it's a perfect time to recap a lot of that stuff now that there are many people out there who are going to be doing New Year's resolutions about losing weight, and even with things like quitting smoking and whatnot. And these apply to really just about anything that you do with a new resolution. Most people, when they create a new resolution, they're going to try to base that on fixing a problem. They're going to invest in the problem, meaning quitting smoking, getting rid of body fat, or losing weight, things of that nature. And if you've got anything from my previous posts, is that when you invest in that type of focus, your brain's actually wired to continue to perpetuate the very thing that you're trying to get rid of. So the way that I look at this is there's three parts to really being able to create a positive change and help yourself to move in that direction with authentic action, rather than trying to take action or motivated action, try to take action to get rid of the problem. You're taking authentic or inspired action to move effortlessly towards the solution. So the first part I always say is make peace with the problem. Something has helped you to determine that this subject is important to you. It's why you feel bad about it. The way that your body looks, or you feel bad about smoking, or the way that you're eating, those are things that you've determined are negatives, which means that there has to be a positive, another side of that. So if you can make peace with it being a problem, meaning find some way to appreciate the problem being there, meaning it could help you to understand how important your health is to you, or understand where you actually want to go, and understand a new passion or a core value in your life. But try to find ways of making peace with that. So one way to do that is to understand what your story about the problem is. For example, I am disappointed about being overweight because it means that I'm unattractive. After you figure out a story of something that surrounds, I'm feeling this way about this thing because of this reason, add a but to it and keep doing that until you actually feel better about the situation. The but is giving you a way to kind of soften the story a little bit. Keep softening it until you kind of feel neutral about the story. At least you're not beating yourself up about the bad thing. For example, I feel disappointed about my overweight body because it means that I'm unattractive, but I know I've had lovers in the past, and a lot of people really don't judge me, or other people don't care. And then keep going on that. Reassess how you feel after saying a statement like that. Well, I'm not disappointed, I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated about the fact that I look this way, and I've looked this way for a long time, and it means that I look pretty lazy. But I'm willing to see that I just didn't really tend to myself in all ways that I could, and now I'm excited for the new change and things of that nature. So you're really just trying to soften it. The second part is really determine what it is as an end result that you want. Where would you be if you weren't where you are now? If you were successful, where would you be? Meaning, if you lost weight, if you lost 20 pounds, what would that actually look like, feel like, sound like? Get specific about it as much as you can. You don't have to be super specific, but if you could start to go to the end and figure out, I am here, I'm successful, and imagine you have to explain that to a person who's never seen you, doesn't know what you look like. And you would have to explain, my face looks like this, my body looks like this, I have these abs. You can't say I would look leaner, because that person doesn't know where you were prior to that. And that also is designed to keep you from comparing yourself to your past. Just go to the future, go to that end result, and create an imagery based on an end result, not comparing it to where you are now. Third part of this is to understand why you want it. What's the payoff? Who will you be with this, with accomplishing this goal? What would this provide for you in your life that you don't have already? Continue asking this of every answer that you come up with. Let's say if I get to a lean size 6 with ripped abs, I would have more confidence. What's more confidence can provide for your life that you don't have now? Let's say I'd have a better relationship. What's a better relationship going to provide for you that you don't have now? Continue asking that question until you are truly moved and inspired. If you don't feel goosebumps or butterflies or are moved to tears, then you haven't been inspired. And when you are inspired, you will reach a core value. That core value is something that you do through most things that are important to you in your life. So when you can get to that moment where you actually feel a sense of inspiration, close your eyes and think about you being at that goal and observe yourself experiencing that emotion, and come up with one word that allows you to label that experience. It could be that you shine, or that you love, or it's a sense of appreciation. There's one word. It's going to be the perfect word for all of that. And in that moment, I want you to use that word as an anchor. Say, every time I use this word, I'm going to remind myself to go through this experience to get myself back to this state. So every time you are in a place where you need to feel the way that you're doing, meaning you're judging yourself for something related to your body or whatever it is you're working on, use that word to bring you back to that state. So you have something visual, you have a word that's auditory, and you have a sensation of feeling, that emotion. So when you create that anchor, every time you do that, it's bringing your body back to that. And you can also tie in to let your subconscious go through this entire process from a problem state all the way to the solution state. If you do this all in one sitting, if you questioned yourself and did the but, I feel this way, but, and then you felt better, and then you thought about what you wanted, and you really created from an end result and figured out why you wanted it and got to that emotional state. If you allowed your subconscious to utilize that word as a trigger to go through this coaching process on its own, and then allowed your subconscious to actually give you insights about things you may need to clean up, or things you have learned or may need to understand about the progression, or new ways of seeing this subject or this problem to show up in your conscious mind, then those would be useful for you. So you're really giving permission when using this word to create as many subconscious actions as you wish. So that is my ultimate New Year's resolution mental plan to help you get on the right track to achieving the body, the health, the life that you desire. Good luck, and I will see you soon.